This next one's also about the military, and this is also to Pete, if you're listening. You need to bring back the old war horses before it's too late. And I mean like the actual war horses, guys that actually gave a shit. I worked with a lot of guys, well, not a lot, but the guys who actually gave a shit like me, they actually truly gave a shit. We'd spend our extra time, some of our extra money even, making sure things were right. You know, wake up at 4 a.m. and do PT before you go to PT. So that you're fitter than everybody else because you have to be. You know, you show off to everybody. You are the example. And everybody here, and you're going to do the same thing. I do the same thing. You do the same thing. Everybody out there is going to be doing the same thing. You learn by watching first. And for those of you who don't believe me, I dare you to go into the kids section of the freaking bookstore and look up everybody shits. Or poops or whatever the fucking name is. I kid you not, the very first thing is you actually have to, you have them in the bathroom and you relieve yourself in the toilet while they're watching. So they realize, oh, that's what I'm supposed to do? Okay, now I'm not shy against this friggin' thing that I'm supposed to sit on. Okay, it's actually that simple. It is unbelievably that simple. You haven't read it yet because you don't have any kids. You better not have any kids I don't know about.
Damn. You think I'm that lucky? Jesus Christ.
Where? Okay. Anyway, the thing is the old war horses know shit. And they are willing to actually share that information. And then they'll drill it. I'll give everybody out there an example. You've heard me say this before. When I was in Korea, I got so pissed. Yeah, he's nodding. I can see in the thing. I got so pissed off at the lack of training that I said, this bullshit will not happen twice. We actually had a squad leader almost lost his feet to frostbite if it wasn't for my extra boots. Had a bunch of other guys, they had to bring the extra wool socks because it was winter training. They were not ready. They did not know how to handle a winter environment at all. And their packing list, it was my mistake for not double checking it. I thought the team leaders were doing their job, but they'd never been taught. Okay? What we would do is every day, I would go to the gym before PT. I would PT everybody because most of my chain of command didn't like actually leading PT. In fact, my platoon sergeant would rather go out and screw one of his 3 girlfriends while his wife was still back in the States. And I have no problem saying that because he was an empty uniform. Pure and simple, empty uniform. He'd always have this stupid grin like, hey, this is a nice place to be. Sergeant, you're literally getting
fucking 3 broads.
You're getting your dick is never dry. Well, of course you got a stupid grin on your face. Regardless of that, after PT, I literally marched everybody to the chow hall. We had breakfast, went up, you do your personal hygiene, changed and everything. You come back down, or actually no, unless it was Motor Pool Monday, which actually no, I think there was Tuesday. It was 09, you're in the day room, you will learn something. I will be teaching a class. If I'm not teaching a class, one of the other NCOs will be teaching a class, or prospective NCOs, because they need to learn. A lot of times, that's one of the things you got to get a little. You'll see that is somebody will actually walk you through how to teach a class, because most people think you just get up there and talk, and that's a bunch of bullshit. No, you don't just get up and talk. You have to know everything. You have to study everything. You have to come with your study materials. It's important.
I have a few teachers who will just try and wing it, or they'll just go, whatever.
It's because they don't care anymore. They've been trying to work with people so much, and they've seen too many people not give a shit that they got to the point of not giving a shit either.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that the admin thinks they're the hottest thing since fucking
frozen pizza.
Birch beer was invented. And they just love to treat everybody under them like shit. I think I got yelled at twice just because, I walked the wrong way in the hallway. Because they have those stupid fucking arrows to show you which direction you need to go.
They actually do that?
From COVID. They never took those arrows out.
Okay, let me think about this logically. Ah, son of a bitch. Okay, we'll come back to that. Ow. That hurts. Okay. Yeah, see, that's the big difference between when you were in when I was in, because actually, well, I got screwed over in high school because I overloaded my classes for the first 3 years, so I would have a whole bunch of time in the beginning of the year. And then some asshole shot up a school in Colorado, the very first big school shooter. You weren't even close to being born yet.
But trust me, I know about it.
Yep, and don't even mention it because I don't want to give them any.
Nope.
And then
Fuck
they're like,
those
oh,
assholes.
now we have homeroom, and now everybody has to show up for 20 minutes, and we're going to sit there and talk about our feelings. And we're going to, I just sat there, I was like, what the f-? And I shoot up the teacher left, right, and said, that guy hated me. And honestly, I hated him right back. I hated the whole thing. I even told him. Because he's like, why are you so mad? I was like, you want the God's honest truth? Well, sit down, shut up, and listen. He's like, what did you say? I said, shut up and listen. And I told him exactly what was going on. I said, congratulations. All my plans for 3 years, you guys went and took a shit on it, so bite me. Anyway, the best I seen where I got a teacher to shut the fuck up, at least for a second, before she decided to tear at us. Senior year, or senior or junior year, I forget. One of my math classes, I'm one of these guys who back in the day, I could do all the math in my head. I need a little scratch of paper and I put like 2 or 3 equations on it. I hate writing out solutions because I'm like, if I can get in my head, why do I need to write it out?
To show your work.
Yeah.
Man, they have us do the same shit now. Like, in my trade class, the teacher, granted he's a cool dude and he's very respectable, he loves to yell at us for not showing our work on the boards. We're like, dude, we don't want to get up. It is second to last period in the day. We're exhausted. We had a bunch of other bullshit. And just yells at us and yells at us and yells at us. Now, he's a cool dude. He doesn't care what the hell we do. As long as we pay attention and we make him look good, he don't give a shit. So, right, he's doing that. Just, teaching the class. I'm sitting there. Got all my notes done, scrolling on my phone, waiting for the next set of notes because he takes 25 fucking minutes to do one set of notes. Oh. And he's like, put your phone away. I'm like, dude, I have all the notes down. I can get some of this shit done. It's not that hard. It's just fucking triangles.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, I will say the thing with the phone is that wasn't a problem when I was there. I still remember they said, oh, you're going to walk around with a calculator in your pocket? I'm like, yep. So, well, the one I was trying to get at was, since there was a few of us, we got really high marks. And one guy, he was god-awful smart. I mean, he would literally look at an equation, and within like a quarter of a second, he's writing out the answer. I mean, he was just one of those guys who could do that. And he wasn't autistic.
Let me guess, he turned out to be a nuclear engineer.
I have no idea what he did. I don't know what he did after high school. I lost track of everybody. Anyways, regardless of that, we're sitting there, and there was 6 of us. If I remember correctly, it was 6 of us who were doing that. And she called us out all by name and said, I'm going to fail you if you don't write the solutions. Now, I couldn't figure out the solutions. I couldn't memorize them. I don't have a memory that does that. Period. So, and one guy in the back, and I still remember, I didn't even turn, and now I'm in the far left corner, and he's way in the back. I didn't even turn and look. And as she's screaming, he just yells out, don't blame us because we're smarter than you. Wow. The same color red is that bull something on your head.
You mean the Bulls logo?
Double shit.
Hey,
anyway,
I'm sorry, alright? I'm a Chicago fan.
Anyway, you can be fan all you want. We are not endorsing Chicago. Anyways.
Not unless they pay us.
You better. Anyways. After she got pissed off, she's like, oh, you think you're that smart? Come up here and solve this. And she called us all up one at a time. And she's writing this huge equation. I mean, it's a long freaking equation across.
Was this in calc?
No, this was, I think it was geometry. Anyway, I forget exactly. It was one of the more advanced math classes. I just happened to be good at it. Anyway, she's going across. And by the time it was my turn, these guys had already showed her up. She looked at me, and I was the quiet kid in class. Yeah, now I'm the guy that used to hunt people for a living. Anyways, she comes up to me and she says, let's see if you can do it. I'm like, whatever. And she's starting to write it out. And no kidding, as she's halfway done, she goes, you come up here and write it on the board. Thinking I'm afraid to actually get up in front of people. Fuck you, lady. She, by the time she's done, I'm looking across it and I just, and it was real easy. It was like y equals x squared minus 3 to the third or something. I mean, just really
That's
simple.
some calculus shit.
And it was, to me, it was really simple. And I got down, I'm done. I'm like, and I still remember turning and go, was that right? And she's like, go sit down. And she called up the next one. It's a young girl. Now, she was scared of being up in front of everybody. And everybody saw that because she was actually petrified. And this teacher was right next to her ear. She wanted at least one person to fail. And as soon as this young girl got it, and I saw she got it exactly right, everybody just clapped. And that teacher was so pissed. And you know what? As far as I'm concerned, I hope somewhere she pulled the giant cockroach out of her ass because it grown up there and wiggled. And it's just like, wow, what the hell?